All right, so the next section is one of the most loved sections of the afternoon. It is 3 journeys that you will hear about today that I'm super excited about hearing these 3 journeys. And I'll give you a brief intro of all the 3 people who are coming up on stage. And after that, we are going to get started. The next one is Ankur Jain, who will talk about inner management. So we talk about all kinds of interesting middle management, this management, but inner management, which is super exciting. Ankur is actually a managing partner at Emergent. And previously, he has been with venture firms in US, India, and Israel at Nexus Venture Partners. And he's from IIT Delhi. He has a master's in computer science from UCLA, as well as an MBA in management from Wharton School. So he has done a lot of external and corporate management as well. But today's talk is going to be about inner management. And he has actually given TED Talks in the past, so I think this format is very suited to him. So looking forward to hearing from Ankur on how we can manage our inner self.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? I think the order. I don't have slides, so maybe that's why. So good to be here. So I graduated from IIT Delhi in '99. And then my professional journey took me through a number of different experiences. I did my MS, I did my MBA, I was part of a number of startups, both as a founder, as an employee. There were some successes. One of them was acquired by Cisco for over $1 billion. There were failures. One of them where I lost my shirt and my investor shirt and went through economic hardships. I ended up in venture capital. I've been VC for many years, both at established venture firms. I founded a venture firm called Emergent Ventures 2 years ago. But the defining aspect of my journey was a program I did about 12 years ago called Inner Engineering. As the name suggests, it is about engineering yourself. The entire life we go through are a seed of experiences within us. All our sense organs, they're just providing the stimuli, the experiences happening within us. But we spend most of our time fixing the outside. It's a bit ironic. My experience with inner engineering took me on another journey, which took me to an ashram where I spent 3 months, mostly in silence, did not have touch with the outside world. It took me to interesting places, like Mount Kailash in Tibet. But more importantly, it helped me create a certain sense of discipline, where I spend about 2 hours every day on yoga and meditation. It's all of us are engineers here. Most of what we learned is about fixing the outside. If you look at the world around us, there's a lot of engineering we have done to the world. Obviously, the purpose of engineering the world around us is to make things more comfortable, make things more convenient. Especially in the last 100 years, we have done so much engineering with the world that if we do any more engineering, there may not be a world left. Today common people have things which, in a few decades ago, people could not even dream of. Kings would drive chariots of 4 horses, 6 horses. Today, all of you are riding chariots of 200 horses. And we are the most comfortable generation ever. Yes or no? Aren't we the most comfortable generation ever? Though we are the most comfortable generation, we cannot say we are the happiest or the most peaceful or the most joyful or the most loving. We cannot say that. So why this has not worked? There are many dimensions to this. But first of all, what it means to you right now as you are. Like many people express about being stressful, which many people are. If you ask them why, what do they say? Their job. If you ask the CEO of your company, she is stressed. You ask your colleagues at work, they are stressed. You ask your postman, he is also stressed. So which job is there to do in this world? Is there any job to do joyfully in this world? It looks like there is none, because everybody is saying their job is stressful. There is no job in the world which is stressful. You are stressful simply because you do not know how to manage your system. You don't know how to keep your body, you don't know how to keep your mind, you don't know how to keep your emotions, you don't know how to keep your energies. That is why you're stressed. Let's look at the mechanics of stress. For every fluctuation on the level of the mind, there is a corresponding chemical reaction in the physiology, always. You would have learned about something called the flight or fight response, probably in high school. You know, in ancient times, when man used to live in nature, the situations he faced in life were quite simple, or at least the response that was demanded out of him was. For example, let us say you're walking through a forest, and you come across a wild animal, let us say a tiger. The choice about what to do was quite simple. There were only two choices. You fight the animal, or you run away from the animal. But today, we have created a situation where both these responses are not possible. You come to your office, you have a tiff with your boss. You can neither fight with your boss, nor can you leave the office and run. Both fight and flight is not possible. When the mind senses any kind of stressful situation, it in turn activates the necessary system to release an emergency quota of sugar into the bloodstream. Whenever there is stress in the mind, the body is being prepared for intense activity. Now, if you did go through this intense activity, this extra sugar is worked out. But today, you live in a constant stream of stressful situations where no physical activity is needed. And this makes the whole system drive itself faster than its natural pace. It is like you drive your car at 60 miles an hour. Maybe your engine life is 200,000 miles. You drive the same car at 200 miles an hour, the engine life will be much less. Now, why for the same stress? One person gets asthma, one person gets migraine, one person gets diabetes. It is not that the disease is hereditary. The disease itself is not hereditary, but some part or organ may be hereditably weak in you, just like your parents. So you have the same tendency. If your father had diabetes at 50, you may get it at 30. But all this can easily be reversed simply by changing the way you experience life and by moving into a more effortless state of being. So how do you do that? There's actually a huge and a very rich set of technology for that, developed over thousands of years. Surprisingly, not from Silicon Valley. But there is, unfortunately, most of us are too busy fixing the outside. We don't really take the time to invest, to explore that. I learned a meditation practice called Shambhavi many years ago. The word Sham literally means twilight in Sanskrit. It can put you in the twilight zone. But for me, things that would stress me out stopped bothering me. My energy levels became much higher. My quality of sleep improved. I began to be more in the present, began to enjoy the little things in life a lot more, and so many other things. I'm just scratching the surface because we have a 10-minute talk. But we've taken this and seen amazing results in our professional lives. At my Emergent ventures, my partners and I, all of us practice meditation. More than 50% of our portfolio entrepreneurs practice meditation. And they've seen amazing results. One of the entrepreneurs, who's a successful entrepreneur, sold a company to VMware. This was a quote from him. An entrepreneur's mind is noisy, is busy around the clock, thinking how to make his business successful. There is a lot of noise and clutter and stress that needs to be worked through. It's a long journey. So 30 minutes of meditation in the morning was critical for me to bring back focus, clarity, calmness, and energy for the rest of the day, every day. I have been practicing it for over 5 years now with immense benefits. I mean, I wouldn't have to tell you, but you probably see a lot of data. Harvard has done studies, University of Calgary has done studies, where they found actually changes in DNA through meditation. So what it can do is quite fundamental. So I would encourage you to pay some attention, take some time to inner management. That's really the only way to take charge of your experience of life. Thank you.